So maybe you've heard of these viral Crab Rangoon Mozzarella Sticks. I made them. They're amazing. I'm going to tell you how in a long form video. I first heard about them in a short, in a reel, in something somewhere. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. And then Jordan the Stallion came up with the recipe. He got it. I modified it slightly from his directions. I'm going to tell you how to make it, some tips, and yeah, so let's get on with it. These are the quantities I used for the recipe, slightly different than Jordan's, and I'll explain. 16 ounces of cream cheese, that's 2 packages. 2 cups of mozzarella, that's roughly 1 bag. 16 ounces of imitation Crab Rangoon. 1/4 cup of green onion. 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 1 tablespoon powdered sugar. And you'll also need panko crumbs, 3 to 4 eggs, and flour. You'll also need peanut oil or some other high smoke point oil to fry them in, and I use Thai-style sweet chili sauce to dip them in. Reasons for modifications. He says 18 ounces of cream cheese and 18 ounces of imitation crab. I don't know if that's a typo, but they don't come in those quantities, and I can't imagine that 2 ounces more of both of those would make a difference. In fact, I would go so far as to say, if you wanted to stretch this recipe a little, add a little more mozzarella. It's the cheaper ingredient. You want that pungent taste of the green onion and the crab, but I don't think you need as much of it. So if I were going to remake this, I might add up to 25% more mozzarella. I'm not sure. You can play around with it. These quantities as listed work. So you're gonna blend all the ingredients except for the stuff you need for the breading. And when you do that, you're gonna blend it, form it into a pan. Make sure you press this into that pan really well. You don't want any voids, and I think that's something I could have done better. You're gonna press it into that pan. You're gonna freeze it for an hour before you take it out, cut it into sticks. But you take it out, then you put it through your flour, your egg, and your panko crumbs, and then you will fry it. I used peanut oil. I did towards the high end of the temperature, around 400, almost 450. Next time, I think I will do it towards the low end, 300 to 350. My oil looked pretty well used when I was done doing this. Try different kinds of oil. Watch your smoke point. I didn't set off the smoke alarm. Make sure you don't set off the smoke alarm. And good luck. So on the right here, we have 2 that just came out of the oven at 350 degrees for 22 minutes. You might need to go a little longer if you froze them solid. I have nuked them in the microwave if they weren't done enough for, 7 to 10 seconds, give or take. Use your best judgment. You don't want stuff oozing out of them so much. If they're falling apart, they're hard to manage. Here are 4 that I took out of the freezer. They are frozen. They're my last 4. Here's a dollar bill for comparison. These things are freaking huge. I would probably make them smaller in the future. I'm a fat guy, and the way you get that way is eating too much of things that are bad for you. And I can tell you, as a fat guy, I would feel bad about eating 2 of these in one sitting. That's probably like eating the equivalent of 8 Crab Rangoons right there. It's a lot of stuff. It really is. It's tasty. It's hard to stop, but you'll feel awful if you eat 2 of those. So I probably in the future, when I make these, will in fact make them smaller. So I had 2 I put in the oven at 350 for 22 minutes. 25 minutes might be even better, but they were edible. I didn't have to put them in the microwave. I've got the one left, and I'm like, I want another bite, but I can't have another bite. I can't have another bite. You can't have another bite, John. When you make these, make them for a party, or if you make them for yourself, you're gonna freeze most of them. I think my mixture yielded around 14, 16 sticks of this size. That's an awful lot. They'll freeze, they'll keep for a long time. Have one every once in a while with every other meal or something. Makes a great appetizer. I love these, they're great. I told people earlier that now I know how I'm going to die, but I don't know when. So there you have it. Crab Rangoon Mozzarella Sticks. Try them, enjoy them. Freeze some for later, try them again.